for Uriri Member of Parliament Mark Nyamita in Uriri constituency, Migori County. President Ruto called upon opposition leader Raila Odinga to end protests and asked him to return the favor by backing his 2027 presidential bid.
Mimi nilikusupport nikakufanyia campaign. Mimi nimewahi kukupigia kura. Mimi nimewahi kukushikilia. Sasa bwana Agwambo, kwa ile tu heshima ya binadamu, wewe utanipigia kura lini? Wewe utanifanyia campaign lini? Mbona unanifanyia maandamano? Ama namna gani? Si hata yeye anipigie kura siku moja jameni. Mimi naona miaka yake imesonga sana.
Safari wakati moja nilikuwa nasema nasa hawa. Alafu baadaye nikaona badala ya sisi kunasa tukanaswa. Nilipopima kama ningekuwa na nafasi ningemwambia hadithi.
President Ruto reiterated his resolve to cooperate with all leaders in launching development projects without minding political differences. He says that after the citizens voted, it is now upon leaders to play their role in development of the nation and that every region deserves development.
Sindio? Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie, mimi kama rais wa Kenya nitafanya kazi na huyu mjumbe wenu mpaka hii Uriri ibadilike. Nitafanya kazi na viongozi wote wa taifa la Kenya ambao wako tayari tupange mambo ya maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya. Kwa sababu sisi tumechaguliwa.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called upon the opposition leaders to cease mocking their colleagues who have decided to work with the government for the sake of the citizens they represent.
Wewe ni muungwana. Sisi watu kutoka Mount Kenya ulitusaidia. You helped us to liberate the people of Mount Kenya from the slavery and the enslavement by one family. You again have a duty, Your Excellency, to liberate this Luo community and bring it into mainstream politics of development and prosperity.
I want to encourage you, my brothers. It is said that it takes courage to begin. And if you have courage to begin a journey, you have the courage to succeed. And I want to assure you, munaweza tukanwa, but you will succeed. Usijali ukiambiwa ati unaenda kwa tumbo yako. Si hata mimi nimekuja Uriri na nimekuja na tumbo yangu.
Uchaguzi imeisha. Sasa ni saa ya kazi. We have about 4.5 years plus to the next election. Tukiendelea kufanya sarakasi hapa sisi wenyewe, wananchi ndiye ataumia. Mimi nimechaguliwa, mimi niko na mshahara. Hata sasa hii naangalia tu tarehe, I think next week kakitu kataingia. Because they have already voted for me, I am doing my work.
The president proceeded to launch the construction of roads in Kuria West and Kuria East regions. Amid pressure from the opposition, President Ruto now calls for national unity and a cessation of divisive politics. He promises that under his administration, all regions will receive development in equal measure. Joseph Kiss, KUTV.
Ugenya Member of Parliament David Ochieng has vowed to never succumb to intimidation aimed at muzzling him from expressing his political support to President William Ruto. Ochieng, who also leads the Movement for Democracy and Growth (MDG), advised his constituents against attending Raila Odinga-led protests, urging them to instead utilize the rains to plant their farms.
Ugenya Member of Parliament David Ochieng, who is among parliamentarians from Nyanza who are openly supporting the government against the wishes of Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga, says he will continue speaking his mind openly and will not be cowed by anybody. Ochieng urged Ugenya residents to utilize the ongoing rains by planting crops in order to be food secure.
So I want to plead with everyone in Nyanza that these rains are short. We've been told the rains are short. Let's go to demonstrations after doing our farms. The rains are short, no one's going to feed us.
He at the same time called on the residents of Nyanza to ignore calls for mass action and demonstration from the Azimio la Umoja leaders scheduled for Mondays and Thursdays, and instead use the energy in their farms. Ochieng said it will be a shame for the residents to demonstrate and at the end sleep on empty stomachs.
Kama unaandamana kwa sababu ya chakula, unaandamana kwamba chakula hakuna, na chakula inatoka kwa shamba. Siku mvua inanyesha, wewe unaacha shamba unaenda maandamano. Akili iko wapi? Because mboga ni shamba. Kwa kama mahindi ni shamba. Kama ni nyama ni wapi? Shamba.
His sentiments were supported by Ugenya constituency youths led by James Ochieng Odweo, who vowed to shun calls for demonstrations against the government, saying that they recognize William Ruto as the president and will support his initiatives aimed at ensuring that the youths are involved in economic activities which build their future.
What we need in Ugenya, we need development. And our MP is thereafter to bring us development. I would rather encourage our youth not to go in demonstration planned by Raila Odinga on Monday. Instead, we go to our shambas.
Ugenya Member of Parliament David Ochieng is among the 9 Nyanza leaders who joined President Ruto's regime and vowed to work together with the president, going against the tide in the Lake region. Mutunga Joseph, KUTV.
Bomet Governor Professor Hilary Barchok wants Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party and opposition leader Raila Odinga to consider taking a break from Kenya's politics. The governor has also questioned the logic behind the involvement of Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka, who are senior counsels in the protests which the government insists are illegal.
Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok, while addressing Bomet residents at a public function, bashed Azimio principals Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka for involving themselves in the Azimio protest, an action which he says is tarnishing their reputations as lawyers of the rank of the senior counsel.
Mtu kama Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, lawyers, very senior people in this country, watu wenye wanaelewa sheria, watu wenye wanaelewa mambo ya constitution. For sure, witchcraft is real.
Governor Barchok says that the Azimio team has no leverage to all the demonstrations, having presented their case before the Supreme Court and failed to provide valid evidence to prove their win in the last election. Barchok argues that the Azimio leaders are leading the protest not for the benefit of majority Kenyans and the economy, but for their own personal political interest.
Hiyo maneno yao sio kwa sababu wanakuchali kama common man. They are following and they are after their own selfish interest. Sio mambo ya unga, sio mambo ya uchumi, because mahindi haitamea tukiandamana kwa barabara.
The governor rubbished Odinga's call for audit of the servers, saying that President Ruto is not mandated to open IBC servers. At the same time, he has asked the opposition to consider the economic cost of the anti-government protest, which has seen billion shillings going up in flames, adding that pressurizing a 7-month-old government is not fair.
Distraction yenye ilifanyika kwa biashara ya mtu, losing 15 million in a day. Hapana, hatutakubaliana na hiyo mambo. Ruto is barely 7 months in the office. Si tulifanya uchaguzi juzi. Hata yule mama ambaye akwa expectant kuanzia mwezi wa ajasa ama amesa. And then how do you expect the president to change the country in 6 months?
Barchok has called on Raila to retire from active politics and appreciate Ruto's effort, including introducing fertilizer subsidy, which he says farmers should take advantage of during this rainy season.
Na tungependa kushukuru serikali ya Ruto. We have subsidized fertilizer. na tunashukuru Mungu tumepata mvua. We should be mobilizing our people to go back to the farms, but not to the streets.
The Azimio team will kick off their phase 2 protest on Monday, a move Bachok says is ill-advised. James Mureki Mwenda, KUTV.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has walked back on images of alleged protesters added to their wanted list following Monday, March 20th demonstrations in Nairobi. The DCI apologized for what it termed as image mix-up after it emerged that some of the images posted on their Twitter account were false and misleading. DCI defended itself, saying that the unfortunate occurrence was occasioned by an overload of information that they had received via the hashtag Fichua kwa DCI online platform regarding the reported incidents of violence. They have, however, insisted on pursuing rowdy protesters whose images are still up on their Twitter account. The family of the slain 42-year-old Bungoma political mobilizer Joseph Kubende wants the government to conduct speedy investigations on the sudden and tragic death of their kin before he is laid to rest. Kubende, who hails from Bahai village within Kimilili constituency, lived in the 4th floor of a Kasarani apartment where he is believed to have jumped from, but his family remains doubtful of the suicide narrative.
The Ministry for Sports, Culture and Heritage through the National Products Industry has commenced the process of documenting indigenous knowledge in Narok County. The process was launched by the Principal Secretary for Culture and Heritage, Ms. Umi Bashir, who says Narok County is among the 13 counties selected countrywide to document their indigenous knowledge and associated assets.
Ningependa kusema asanteni sana. Na county government, ni lazima tufanye na county government. Hakuna vile tunaweza achieve hii project yetu ya kutekeleza hii traditional, cultural, indigenous knowledge bila kufanya kazi na county government. Si ndio? Na tunashukuru county government, tunashukuru county commissioner, tunashukuru chief wetu kwa sababu bila wao hakuna kazi tungefanya.
Narok Governor Patrick Ntutu, who attended the event, applauded the initiative, saying that it is about time that the Ma heritage was documented, as the culture, which still remains intact, has been a tourist attraction.
And I can assure you, this is one of the best county when it comes to culture. We are known, by the way, all over the world. Time has come for us to really have a museum, a Maasai museum. And I wanted to assure Baba Yangu Olenjoy, that is something that we have already actually budgeted, even before you say. We wanted to have a museum where we can now store our artifact. All our products that we have as Maasai, we can store our artifacts.
Dr. Ivan Saracha from the National Museum says that 30 youths from the county have been trained to help the documentation process that is set to take place over the next 30 days.
This project, Your Excellency, is being executed within the legal framework called Protection of Traditional Knowledge and Cultural Expressions Act 2016. Under this legislation, Your Excellency, Kenya is compelled, the national government, the county governments, and the local communities are compelled to do the following. One, to recognize, to document, to protect, and promote their birthright wealth.
Also in attendance was Narok County Commissioner Evans Masinde, the Maasai Council of Elders Chairman Kelena Olenchoe, among other age-set traditional chiefs.
Culture yetu bado iko imara, bado inasimama, bado hutafuti, uendi kuuliza, bali iko.
The National Products Industry is a Kenya Vision 2030 flagship project based in the National Museum of Kenya. The piloting project was launched in Murang'a County, and now similar activities are ongoing in other counties, including Kilifi, Murang'a, Makueni, Garissa, Tharaka Nithi, Marsabit, Kericho, Turkana, Kakamega, Siaya, Vihiga, and Kisii counties. Yvonne Kemuma, KU TV.
The national government, through the State Department for Culture and Heritage, has commenced the process of documenting indigenous Maasai knowledge in Narok County. The process is expected to take place over the next 30 days, with 30 youths from the county expected to go around the county as they document the heritage for preservation.
The Ministry for Sports, Culture and Heritage, through the National Products Industry, has commenced the process of documenting indigenous knowledge in Narok County. The process was launched by the Principal Secretary for Culture and Heritage, Ms. Umi Bashir, who says Narok County is among the 13 counties selected countrywide to document their indigenous knowledge and associated assets.
Ningependa kusema asanteni sana. Na county government ni lazima tufanye na county government. Hakuna vile tunaweza achieve hii project yetu ya kutekeleza hii traditional cultural indigenous knowledge bila kufanya kazi na county government. Si ndio? Na tunashukuru county government, tunashukuru county commissioner, tunashukuru chief wetu kwa sababu bila wao hakuna kazi tungefanya.
Narok Governor Patrick Ntutu, who attended the event, applauded the initiative, saying that it is about time that the Ma heritage was documented, as the culture, which still remains intact, has been a tourist attraction.
And I can assure you, this is one of the best county when it comes to culture. We are known, by the way, all over the world. Time has come for us to really have a museum, a Maasai museum. And I wanted to assure Mse Baba Yangu Olenjoy, that is something that we have already actually budgeted, even before you say. We wanted to have a museum where we can now store our artifact. All our products that we have as Maasai, we can store our artifacts.
Dr. Ivan Saracha from the National Museum says that 30 youths from the county have been trained to help the documentation process that is set to take place over the next 30 days.
This project, Your Excellency, is being executed within the legal framework called Protection of Traditional Knowledge and Cultural Expressions Act 2016. Under this legislation, Your Excellency, Kenya is compelled, the national government, the county governments, and the local communities are compelled to do the following. One, to recognize, to document, to protect, and promote their birthright wealth.
Also in attendance was Narok County Commissioner Evans Masinde, the Maasai Council of Elders Chairman Kelena Olenchoe, among other age-set traditional chiefs.
Culture yetu bado iko imara, bado inasimama, bado hutafuti, uendi kuuliza, bali iko.
The National Products Industry is a Kenya Vision 2030 flagship project based in the National Museum of Kenya. The piloting project was launched in Murang'a County, and now similar activities are ongoing in other counties, including Kilifi, Murang'a, Makueni, Garissa, Tharaka Nithi, Marsabit, Kericho, Turkana, Kakamega, Siaya, Vihiga, and Kisii counties. Yvonne Kemuma, KU TV.
The technical team is in stitches following a short thing that happened while I was trying to express myself. We are taking our first break right here. We'll be back with more stories. Keep watching.
This Sunday from 9 a.m., we join Kenyatta University for an interfaith Thanksgiving church in prayer service as Dr. Super Moesi, Director LNG, White Ranch Office, Adventist University of Africa, will be speaking on the theme, The Lord is Our Banner, Exodus 17 verse 5, and Sheikh Ibrahim Lithome will be speaking on the theme, And Thy Lord is Most Forgiving, Full of Mercy, Quran 18 verse 58, live from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on KU TV.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani. Kama ilivyo kipindi hiki kinahusu nyimbo za tarab, chakacha, midwara, midundiko, bila kusahau mapishi. Ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa pwani ya Afrika Mashariki.
Jamani swaibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Hapa KU TV, nahodha mwendesha chombo cha baharini, yani ua linalunukia na kuvutia waridi tamu.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one, one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KU TV, a new experience.
Welcome back. The family of the slain 42-year-old Bungoma political mobilizer Joseph Kubende wants the government to conduct speedy investigations on the sudden and tragic death of their kin before he is laid to rest. Kubende, who hails from Bahai village within Kimilili constituency, lived in the 4th floor of a Kasarani apartment where he is believed to have jumped, but his family remains doubtful of the suicide narrative.
The untimely death of Joseph Kubende, who reportedly jumped from the 4th floor balcony of GM Apartments in Nairobi's Roysambu estate, has left his family in a great loss. The family, led by David Shakama, says Joseph had secured a job in the United States of America just recently, and he had just returned from an assignment in Rwanda.
Police are being incompetent because yes, there are CCTV. The building they are saying iko kwa barabara. The highway cameras. Why are police not using those cameras? Kwa nini polisi hawatumii hiyo kutafuta nani aliua Kubende?
Kimilili Member of Parliament Didmas Baraza, who joined the family in their rural home in Bahai village, expressed concern over the recent suspected suicide or murder cases, saying that he has already talked to the DCI headquarters so that those who are together with the deceased will be investigated for further truth to be known.
Wale watu wote ambao wanahusika katika hii maneno walikuwa hapo. Simu ya marehemu ichukuliwe, iende iangaliwe. Simu ya wale ambao walikuwa hapo pia zichukuliwe, ziende ziangaliwe, tuone kama pengine kulikuwa na mazungumzo ambayo yalijiri baada ya kifo cha huyu mungwana kutokea.
Bumula Member of Parliament Wamboka has also called on police to give a proper report on what happened to Joseph Kubende. The MPs want a repeat of the post-mortem because the initial one did not involve the family members.
That is the first question we want to ask the government itusaidie, ifanye uchunguzi ya kutosha to come to the bottom of the matter, tuelewe what caused the death of Mr. Joseph Kubende.
This incident has left many people with questions rather than answers. Joseph Kubende has been an instrumental grassroots mobilizer in political campaigns in Bungoma, using wit and poetry or even songs to woo voters. Joe Maina, KUTV, Nairobi.
In the sprawling Nairobi slum of Kibera, Renice Owino, a young computer programmer, is passing on her knowledge to disadvantaged students. Owino is the founder and driving force behind the Code with Kids initiative, which has reached hundreds of children in Nairobi and other areas. VOA's Saida Swaleh visited Owino's classroom in Nairobi and has this story.
This is a beginner's class for children learning how to code. All of them come from the Kibera neighborhood of Nairobi, Africa's largest urban slum. 28-year-old Renice Owino is their teacher. Her focus is STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Nobody is empowering these young kids with these STEM skills. And I believe that if these kids are given the same opportunities as other kids from different areas, then we will be bringing up a community of problem solvers, critical thinkers, and lifelong learners and earners.
Owino says she spent her teen years in Kibera with her aunt after her mother died. Despite having limited access to computers, Owino developed a passion for information technology thanks to her mother and a high school instructor.
And somebody I used to look up to was my mom. She was a teacher, and I felt like teachers were superheroes. But in my coding journey or in my tech journey, the most people that made an impact to it were my high school computer teacher. She was female.
Her lessons at this learning center are free, but she charges 5 cents in other institutions to help pay for laptops, transport, and stipend for the volunteers. She wants her students to get the access to computers she didn't have.
As they grow up, as they become individuals, and as they become adults, I want them to, when they're doing tech or when they're in the tech spaces, they feel it's just that tech is open for everyone. And I think this can change by empowering them at a young age altogether.
Owino has a special focus on encouraging female students. According to a 2022 Kenya Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology report, graduation rates in Information and Communications Technology, or ICT, and other science disciplines for female students is low. Experts, however, say that is changing.
A good percentage of the ladies that we finished our degrees with started tech a bit and then quickly moved to other areas of business, right? So around that time, it would have been rare to walk into a programming room and find women coders, right? But now, not anymore.
Back in Kibera, Owino is winding up the lesson, and for many of the students, coding has earned a place in their heart.
I feel like things are changing and it's becoming more friendlier for women.
Renice hopes that the classes she offers have an impact not just here in Kibera, but beyond. For VOA News, Saida Swale, Nairobi, Kenya.
Education and literacy are a challenge in rural Africa, where teachers and electricity are often lacking, and many students speak languages different from their country's primary tongue. A startup in Kenya is tackling the problem by providing learning software in multiple languages on thousands of solar-powered tablet computers. VOA's Ahmed Hussein reports from Wajir County.
Young learners learn lessons on computer tablets at Lehele Primary School in Kenya's Wajir County. They are using an app called Mlugha, which translates lessons in English and Swahili, the two main languages of instruction in Kenya, into other native languages. The app developers put the software on solar-powered tablets for learners who have no ready access to electricity.
Because of that connectivity issues, we made the app offline, which means you don't need internet to access it. And then we also have portable solar panels to also charge the tablets.
Over 70% of learners in northern Kenya reside in places without electricity, which initially posed a huge problem for Mluga users, but now they can easily access its content. Teachers say the app has greatly enhanced learning.
The initiative so far is going to help these kids. So far I have seen the kids are mastering. It will also improve on the enrollment of our kids here. It will sharpen the kids' mind. It also isn't the work of the teacher.
Due to poor infrastructure and lack of teachers in schools, children in northeast Kenya must learn in these conditions. Ali Mahdi told VOA that his company plans to reach more pupils in remote areas so they can learn in their first languages.
We have piloted in the Somali language. So in the coming few months, we'll also go to the other part of the country where we have the Maasai community and also pilot there. And then we move to Isiolo, Marsabit, and Mandera, where we have Borana communities, and we are going to roll out. So by the end of this year, we are hoping to give out more than 3,000 tablets.
Local communities or non-governmental organizations usually pay for the tablets. According to UNICEF, one of the fundamental challenges of learning in sub-Saharan Africa is that the language of instruction often differs from the children's mother tongue.
With the new curriculum now, there's a focus on indigenous languages. And the use of now, the fact that Mluga is bringing on board the access to translation services. Because when you teach a child at that formative age in their mother tongue, even their understanding, their access, their capacity significantly improves.
Early childhood development education, or ECD, in Kenya is not centralized, and experts say counties need to put more funds into schools and pre-primary school education.
There are so many apps that have been are being in use at the moment. In the near future, we intend to put the digital system in place. As young as they are in ECD sectors, our plans is that they become a bit digitally upgraded even as they go to grade 1 and 2.
Despite the myriad of challenges facing students in rural parts of Kenya, innovations like the Mluga app give a gleam of hope that they can access quality education like their peers in other parts of the country. I'm Hussein for VOA News, Wajir, Kenya.
Taking another short break, we'll be back with sports news. Don't go too far.
What's up, fashionistas? Looking for a show that brings you the latest in the world of fashion, glamour, creativity, and style? Fashion Diaries got you sorted as we explore street fashion, modeling, runways, red carpet events, and so much more.
Catch me, Ashley at Sachi, as we unlock the greatest fashion events. Keep it locked.
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
Welcome back. Let's get sporty. The Kenya Rugby Union KRU elections have been moved forward to Wednesday, 29th March after failing to take off as earlier planned due to failure of compliance with the court ruling served on Thursday, barring the exercise to take place at the RFUEA grounds. The Federation is going to elect new officials who will spearhead the running of rugby operations in the country for the next 4 years. Former KRU Vice Chairman chairman Sasha Mutai is set to replace Odor Gangla as the federation chairman after going unopposed following the withdrawal of former Kenya Harlequins chairman Joe Onsando. Gangla, the former Union Secretary General, has opted not to seek re-election. Positions being contested for include vice chairmanship, honorary secretary, and directorship. Thomas Tuchel has been confirmed as the new manager of Bayern Munich as the ex-Chelsea boss takes over from the axed Julian Nagelsmann. German giants Bayern confirmed the news with a statement on social media. Former Blues boss Tuchel has signed a deal up until the summer of 2025 after Nagelsmann's contract, which was due until 2026, was terminated by the club bosses. Tuchel will supervise training for the first time on Monday as he prepares to take on Borussia Dortmund. Bayern also thanked Nagelsmann and his coaching staff. World number 1 tennis player Carlos Alcaraz announced the start of his Miami Open title defense in emphatic fashion, losing just 2 games in a comprehensive win over Facundo Bagnis. The 19-year-old US Open champion needed 65 minutes to complete a 6-0, 6-2 victory against the Argentine, ranked 100th. The Spaniard, who triumphed at Indian Wells last week, has lost just one of his 16 matches this year. In the women's draw, 22-year-old Canadian Bianca Andreescu, who ended British number 1 Emma Raducanu's challenge earlier this week, came back to defeat world number 10 Maria Sakkari 5-7, 6-3, 6-4. And that story brings us to a wrap right here at KUTV Weekend Prime. Many thanks for joining us tonight, including my very loyal viewer, 4-year-old niece, Angie. And special thanks to everyone that has made this bulletin a success. Remember to keep your feedback and comments coming on our social media handles at KUTV_Kenya, at Mercy IMBINDA. The hashtag is Weekend Prime. Remember, you can get this bulletin on YouTube at KUTV Kenya or on our website at www.kutv.co.ke. Evans Odhiambo is a sign language interpreter tonight. I am IMBINDA Mercy. Have a good night.